Hi friends, I'm coming to you with a very special announcement today. This is a project that Julie and I have been working on for months. We originally had this idea back during Vlogmas when we buddy read Voyage of the Damned. We were reading Voyage of the Damned and absolutely having just a great time with this book. And we knew that it was a genre blend of fantasy and mystery. And we also knew a lot of mystery lovers who didn't really love Voyage of the Damned. And we started to have a discussion during our buddy read about whether that was because we were fantasy readers and really it was a fantasy book that was really relying on a lot of fantasy tropes and fantasy elements, and the mystery was just a plot device to move that along versus being a real true mix of the two genres. And we had a really good discussion about that during our buddy read. So we decided that wouldn't that be fun to do that with other books that are genre blends, to take two readers who predominantly read one genre of the blend, two readers that predominantly read the other genre of the blend, and see if it applies and does the book really gravitate both types of readers. Is it a true genre blend? Is it more one genre over the other? Let's discuss it together. And with that, the Genre Blend Comp Club has been born. We are not going to be doing this every single month. We are going to do maybe 3 or 4 a year. That is all we all have time for. And really, I know that's all you all have time for as well. But we have our first one, and we are going to be reading The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. This is a fantasy romance book that seems somewhat based off You Got Mail. Julie brought it to my attention, and I immediately said, yes, let's make this our first book for the club. So with that, obviously the blend is fantasy and romance. Now, it is hard to find readers that read exclusively one particular genre. So I will say, like, I read both fantasy and romance, but I will be on the fantasy team in this because really when it comes to a fantasy romance blend, I do tend to look at it from a very fantasy standpoint. Julie will be joining me to see if we think, as fantasy readers, what the fantasy side of this blend really has in store. For the romance side, we have Katie from I Would Rather Be Reading and Aoife from Pretty Purple Polka Dots. Again, Katie and I both do read fantasy and romance, but we're going to look at it, you know, from the separate sides. And I will say, Katie reads a lot more romance than I do, and also a lot more fantasy romance than I do. So I think she's going to bring a lot to this conversation. Aoife reads a lot of contemporary romance books and is just starting in her fantasy journey a little bit. So I think this is a really great collection of people to really have a great discussion. But obviously, you need to know when this is happening so that you can read it too and join us in the discussion. This will be a live show on March 8th at 12 p.m. EST. I do not know exactly what channel it will be on at this time. It will be either on mine or Julie's, so make sure you are subscribed to both of us. I will leave all of our hosts down below. Also, to know when anything is happening with the book club, we also will have a Discord, and all that will be linked down below as well. So make sure to join those too, just to keep up to date on what our next book is, because we do plan to do about 3 or 4 a year. But are you ready to see if this book is really a good blend of fantasy romance, or is it really one or the other with a subplot of one? Let us find out with this club. I hope you're excited to join us for this discussion. I hope you're excited for this book, and I'll see you there on March 8th.